friends, welcome to Cross My Stitches. My name is Jackie and today is December 31st, 2021. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday. We just passed Christmas, so Merry Christmas to those that you celebrate Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and if you don't celebrate any holiday, then hopefully you just got some time off with family and friends. We have New Year's tomorrow, so Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Please, if you're drinking, don't drive. And hope everyone has a blessed New Year. Today is my birthday, so I couldn't think of any better way to spend it than with spending it with you guys today and doing a WIP parade. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing I want to say, though, is I apologize up front. I am still getting over a nasty cold. So I'm a little congested. That might be why I'm sounding a little nasally. I apologize if I cough, sneeze, my nose starts running, any of those things. I may have to take a drink to get my throat so I don't start coughing. So other than that, let's talk about what WIPs I have that I'm going into 2022 with and what my plans are for 2022. Now, I normally will do a finish parade at the end of the year. I decided this year I wasn't going to do that. Just too much work right now to pull all that stuff out and show it and put it away. If you've been watching my videos for the past year, you know all the finishes that I've had. I do have 3 finishes to show you today. One I'm so excited about because it's a big finish. And let's get started with those. So the first one is a Shannon Christine. It was part of her Christmas Club #1 she had, and it's that 'Tis the Season. And I did mine on a 28 count, I think it's a 28 count black Lugana. And let's see if I put something up with it here. You'll be able to see, and there's my finish. I love it on the black. It is so, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's so sparkly. It's got all the beads and all the cry neck on it. It's really super cute. So it only took me, I think, 1.5 years to do one of her ornaments. I don't know why I couldn't get it done. I don't know why I was struggling with it. It might have been because it was on black, but I'm not quite sure. But it definitely took me longer. So I have like 6 or 7 more to do. I really need to pop those out. So my second finish, I don't have a picture for, but everybody knows what this is. This was Kathy Haberman's Hand-On Design Cookie Exchange. And it's done, but it's not done. Stitching is done. I really want a bigger bow on it. I just did not have anything on hand right now. So I'll change that out, but I got my little cookie cutters hanging from the top. And that was my finish, and I really loved it. It was lots of fun to do this. Called for fabric trims and the board from April. She's on Etsy. She does the boards. I can't think of what her shop name is, but I'm sure everybody knows where the board came from. So really excited to have that one finished. And my last finish, which is my big finish, I finished my Let It Snow banner. Told you guys I wanted to get this done before Christmas. And I am so excited to have it done. Now this is a big piece, so I don't think I can show it all at once. But it is really a large piece. So there it is right there, all the way down. And that will be put on a bell pull. And I'll show that up close. But this is the bell pull for it. It's a snowman bell pull. And then I have a second one for the bottom that's just a snowflake. But let me show you this a little up close. So there's the first part of it. And then it's got Let It Snow again. Then it has the second part there. And you can see it's got all the buttons and stuff attached to it. Let It Snow for the 3rd time. And then the last one with the sled. So when I get this fully finished, I'll be glad to share this with you. I'm excited to get it done. I think I showed before, this is the backing fabric it's going to be for the bell pull. It's just a snowflake and it matches the floss perfectly. So those were my 3 finishes that I finished out the year with. So I have 24 finishes for the year for 2021. And that's probably about average for me. I usually do somewhere between 23 and 30 because most of my projects are on the larger size. I don't do a lot of smalls, although this year I did do a lot of smalls. I guess I just didn't get a lot of stitching done. Then you can see, unfortunately, that Santa of the Forest and Needle Nick are still hanging on my wall unfinished for Christmas this year. I really need to get them done. I have to be in the mood to do finishing. If I'm not in the mood to do it, I can't get it done. So I have to wait for that window of opportunity when I feel like pulling all the stuff out and trying to figure out the finish. He's going to get framed, and I do have a frame for him, and he's going to be a stand-up. So hopefully I'll get those done at some point. But let's talk about what WIPs I have for 2021 going into 2022. And I tried to put these in order by year, not so much by date because it was just impossible for me. And it's not like I have a ton. I have like 22, 23 WIPs, but I didn't want to fudge with it trying to figure out where everything went. So, and I did unzip all the bags, so hopefully we won't have all that noise from the zippers. So the first one I want to share is my oldest WIP, and that is, again, Miss Christmas Eve. And all the stitching is done on her. I just got to get the beads done. And I said I was going to get that done before Christmas, but I'm almost dreading it. You know, it's like I keep saying I don't want to fool with the beads right now. I don't want to fool with the beads, but I really need to get this done. So I think and it is on my Bringo board, and we'll talk about that in my plans too. And if she pops up on my Bringo board, I just have to get it done. But this is Miss Christmas Eve. Am I missing something? Oh, I take it back. She's not all done because she has back stitching too that needs to be done on her face and her arms. So I'll have to get that done while I'm doing her beading. So, but there she is. She is just gorgeous. This was on a 32 count Silvery Moon that I over dyed with a little more gray to make it a little darker, and it's an opalescent. I'm not sure if you can tell that that's an opalescent, but she is just gorgeous. I am still hunting for a frame. I have not found a wooden oval frame that I like for her. They're hard to find nowadays, you know, the old style wooden frames. But I'm going to keep searching. I'm going to put her, now that I've showed her, back on the stretcher bars, and hopefully I will get her started in her beading sometime this month. Okay, so my second oldest WIP is, and I didn't unzip this one, sorry. This one is the Early American series by Little House Needlework. So it's a 9-part series. This is one of the patterns. In fact, this is the one that I'm working on next on this. But I've got them all on one piece of fabric, and this is a 32 count sand Lugana. And I'm using the border that Vonna Pfeiffer designed for hers, and she shared with us. And there it is. That's where I'm at right now. And this is another one. I should have had this done by now, you know. There's no reason I couldn't have this done. I just need to spend the time to get it done. So I'm saving the center for last because I'm not sure if I'm going to use the center design or if I'm going to change it up. So I figured I would wait till the end and I would make a decision then. But this one is from 2017. So 5 years, going to be 5 years. It is 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 years. Sorry, I got to use fingers here. 4 years. I have been working on this, and that's as far as I've gotten. So again, this is on my plans for 2022 because I have a plan to get 5 designs finished in 2022. 5 of my old patterns. My next one is one that everybody loves, and it is so hard to find, and that is Lady of the Flag. She is absolutely beautiful, and she is being stitched on a 32 count Lugana called We the People. It is from Fabric Flare and StitcheryExpress.com, and this is where I'm at with it. I need to work my way up. I need to start getting her done. See, she's on the We the People fabric. It's just gorgeous. And lots of stitching, but I really would like to work up to get to her head and arms and that such and get that flag finished. Again, this one is on my 2022 plans to get worked on. The next one is from 2018, and this is my Diddly Daddle bag. It's one of her first ones that she made when she first started out. That's how old this is. And it is Map of Hawthorne Hollow. Now, I don't know why I'm having a difficult time picking this up and working on it. It's a beautiful piece. It's got a lot of little motifs that you can do small finishes with, but for some reason I keep passing this up and I don't work on it. And I'm not sure why. But I really need to get this done. I need to get some work on this. This is where I am. And it's actually, for that amount of time, this is pitiful. It really is. But this is where I'm at with it. Sorry, no ironing today. That's as far as I've gotten. You would have thought I would at least have the hawk done by now, because that was my favorite part, was the hawk. But I just haven't gotten it done. So hopefully sometime in 2022 I will get some more work onto this one. And shame on me for not getting it done. Okay, so the next one is my Christmas garden. It's in the book Home for the Holidays. And I know you all seen this a million times, but just in case someone doesn't know which one I'm talking about, this is the design right here. It's my plan to change the words on the bottom, not to say Christmas garden, but to say winter garden. And I have been stitching on this for the last several days, so I have gotten good progress on it. And I got the border all the way around and it matches. So that was exciting. That was an exciting thing, but there it is. This is on 36 count doubloon linen, and I'm doing it 2/2. So I got my border done. I'm putting all my flowers in. I'll work on that and get the rest of the flowers in. And then I am going to finish working on that top row. And I think what I'm going to do is, I really like this brown here. I think I'm going to pull these out and change them to this. In fact, I got an order from 123 Stitch today for my birthday. And this is the flosses that I'm using. So I'm using 'Tis the Season Poison Apple from Victoria Motto. 'Tis the Season Tortoise Shell, Victoria Motto. And you can see I'm running out of that. I have Tarnished Gold, which is a darker brown. And then I have this one, which is Gentle Arts Chamomile, which you can see is like a tannish, and it's got a lot of great variegation in it. Well, I ordered some more of the chamomile on 123 site, and this is what I got. Same numbers and everything, but it's not tan and brown, it's green. So there it is. It's all green. So unfortunately, that's not going to work for me. If anybody has Gentle Arts Chamomile that is more the tan brown, please let me know. I'll be glad to swap out for the green if you're not needing the brown, because the green is very pretty. It's actually not that green. It's more olivey green than what it's showing. Yeah, that looks green, but it's not. It's more olivey green. And I need the brown. So when I ordered it on their website, it showed the brown, but these are green. They have a tinge of brown on the bottom, but that's not going to work for me. I will also say that a wonderful stitcher, I went on Facebook and mentioned that I'm running out of my Victoria Motto, which is a limited edition flosses, and I nearly needed one more each of the two colors to complete this. And a sweet stitcher, which these just arrived today, sent me one each of the poison apple and the tortoise shell for me to finish my project, because I don't know what I was thinking that 20 yards would be enough when I'm doing 2/2. So thank you so much to Miss Stacy for sending those to me. So now I gotta resolve my chamomile issue. I might contact, if nobody has it and I don't hear back, I might try to contact some of the online shops to see if anybody has the brown chamomile that I can purchase so I can get this completed, because I really want to get the right colors. And it took me a while switching colors multiple times on this, and I just couldn't get it right, and I had to pull threads like that gold. I'm going to pull that gold out several times. So I definitely want to get this done. I need to get the right floss for it. But that is Christmas Garden. Sorry, Velcro. It's getting really dark here. It's supposed to rain. So if the lighting gets really bad, I apologize. But we are expecting storms this afternoon. I had no sun today to do this, and I really wanted to do it today and spend some time with you guys on my birthday. So, okay, so next one is my husband's stocking. I started this, I think, July of 19. And it is Christmas sled stocking. And he really loves this stocking. I think it's gorgeous, but I had no idea. I had never done a Dimensions Gold kit before. I had no idea what I was in for. So it took me quite a while to figure out what was going to work for me to get it stitching done. So, and I've talked about this before, that one of my issues was all the changes in the threads. So it's 2 threads, 3 threads, 4 threads, and switching back around to do it. So the first part of this, that's how I did it. I would just keep switching. It took me forever. And then I realized, why am I making this difficult on myself? Let's just do all the regular 2/2 stitching and get it out of the way, and then go back and fill afterwards. And it is just breezing right along now. You'll see I have almost all of the sled done. I'm at the bottom of the sled. I still have this right here. Will be one more board running down, and that'll be the end of the sled. And you can see we don't have that much more fabric, so we're not going that much farther. But I love this. My husband's going to love it when it's done. And I'm planning on getting this done. This is one of the pieces that will be a finish for 2022. I will have this finished before next Christmas. And I'll explain all that in my plans. Oh, don't want a zipper. Sorry. Okay, my next one, and we're in 2019 now, I think, still, is, and I guess I could flip my planner and I'd know what day I'm in. This one, which is 7 Virtues, I started on my birthday on December 31st, 2020, because I saw Jen of Stitching in the Bluegrass. Hi, Jennifer. And she was working on this, and I loved it, and I wanted to work on it too, so I started it on my birthday. And again, I'm using my own color choices for this. I have a Gentle Art Onyx for the black, 'Tis the Season Moss and Victorian Motto, and the moss is like a gray. They said it's a moss, but it's really, you can see it's gray. Harvest Basket from Gentle Arts, and then Victorian Motto's America the Beautiful, one of her, another special edition. And that's really, it's darker than that. It's really washing out, kind of orangey there. But this is where I'm at with it. I did spend some time with it this week and got the top words, the 7 Virtues, completed and started on the numbers. But this is where I'm at with it. And this is done on a 28 count, I think it's a 28, nope, 32 count London Fog is what this is called. This is a Lugana. And love it, want to get it finished. And I've always wondered why Lottie Da did not do the 7 Deadly Sins. She did the 7 Virtues. Why did she not do the 7 Deadly Sins? I have not seen that one. Has anybody seen that? I haven't seen it. So I started writing down the 7 Deadly Sins and see if I could chart them to match this, so I'd have both. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know if that'll happen this next year or not, but that's always in the back of my mind. I would like to have a companion piece to it, and it would be the 7 Deadly Sins. The next one is Feed Your Soul. I started this in August of 2020. It looks like this. It is Stitching Through the Years on Etsy. And it's a beautiful piece. I really love it. But I haven't worked on this lately at all. I'm doing the called for colors, and the fabric is, hold on, I got my little tag in here. It is 40 count linen I hand dyed myself. And this is where I'm at with it. So I got the border all the way around. I've got the alphabet in, and I got the flowers on the top, and I was starting the flowers at the bottom, and I was going to work my way around, but I haven't got there yet. But this is such a beautiful piece. And it says, does it say? Yeah, it says flowers feed the soul is what the saying is along the bottom. But really love this. Stitches through the years. She has some beautiful pieces on her Etsy shop. And I own one or two more that I want to do. But that was August. Did I say August? That was, yeah, August of 2020. So it's been well over a year. Haven't got it done yet. My next WIP is from, where is it? Four Seasons Band Sampler. I started this also in August of 2020. This is out of a magazine. These are from the Just Cross Stitch magazines. I believe it's 2011 issues. This is what it looks like. One season was in each magazine for 4 magazines. And I absolutely love this. It has a lot of specialty stitches in it. Lots of fun to stitch. I was zooming right along with it, and then all of a sudden I came to a halt because of squirrel. Something came along and got me off of it. But it is beautiful, and I am down to the fall is where I was. And you can see it has all sorts of different specialty stitches on it. The words are 1 over 1. It has satin stitch. It has Smyrna crosses. It has something else. Eyelet stitch. So it's just beautiful. I love it. Love it. And I need to get back to it. So I only got 2 more seasons to go in that bottom border. So I really need to crank this one out because I have other things I want to do. Okay, so the next one is One Nation, and I'm looking down because my notes are right here. So, One Nation was started on April of 2020, and I just unzipped the bag back up. Sorry, not used to unzipping all my bags. It throws me off. This one here, everybody knows that one. It's the flag with all the states and the stripes, and I have gone back and forth with this design. I originally started it on this fabric, which is a 36 count bramble that I over dyed with gray to get it darker. But I originally started this in silky threads. I got a little less than what I have here now when you look at this. And I hated it. I didn't like stitching on it. I didn't like the way the silky threads laid on this fabric. And I ripped it all out and I restarted again with the DMCs. Now I'm loving the colors on the DMCs. It's really pretty, but for some reason I've stopped working on it. So, and there it is. So I've got 2 stripes, 3 stripes, except for the borders down, working on the 4th one. The white just pops off of it, which is nice. You can see it on this side popping more than over here because of the lighting I'm using. But it is just gorgeous. So there's my little stars. And then, you know, one of the things that bugs me about working on this is these long stripes. It is very hard to get those to look straight. I guess once you stretch it and stuff, it'll look a lot better. But when you're looking at it and you look a little wavy, that kind of deters you from wanting to stitch on this. But yeah, and I can see my stitches are not exactly perfect, that's for sure, especially the white. The reds look great, but the whites, there's just times that white does not play well with certain fabrics. I've found that it's not your stitching, it's the fabric and the floss that you're using that decide how the stitches are going to lay. And sometimes they lay beautifully, and sometimes they lay horrible, and it's not because of your stitching. It's because the way the floss interacts with the fabric. And I have one piece of fabric. I literally tried twice to start a project on it, and it looked horrible both times. I threw the fabric away. I'm like, that's it. I don't even want that in my stash anymore. It's going out the window. I will not buy that again because it didn't look right. Okay, so my next one is Mill Hill's Autumn Gathering. This is We Gather Together. It's out of a Mill Hill book. I love these books. These books are pretty cool. They got some neat things in them. I love the couple, which is the couple up here. It's just bigger. But this is the one I'm doing right there, which is this big piece. And this is one of those times where I took a chance to try a different fabric. I have a real fear of trying fabric out of the norm. Not just the called for, but usually if I pick something, it's similar to what you see. I don't go outside the box that often because I'm really lousy at color choice and color coordination. I can't do it. I'm not a decorator. I'm lousy at decorating. I'm lousy at all that stuff. It's just not my thing. But this time I chose to go with a green fabric for it. And it is a 30, I'm trying to think of what it is. It is a 28 count even weave, and it's hand dyed by Rolanda on Etsy, and it was in my stash, and I think it looks really nice. I'm really enjoying it on this fabric, and the last time I showed this, I didn't have the Indian in, so there's the Indian. And the only thing that bites about this particular fabric, or not the fabric, but this design, is that you have to buy the Mill Hill treasures to go with this, and there are a lot of treasures on this piece. A lot of treasures. But I really like it. I think it's adorable. I love it on this fabric. And I'm trying to figure out if I can substitute some treasures for some beads or other treasures that are not Mill Hill expensive. You know, because there are jewelry online shops that you can get certain shaped beads and stuff. So I'll look at that when I get this down to the point where I need to worry about, am I going to put the treasures in or not? But that is We Gather Together. I started that one on 11/8/2020. Bonnie was the one who hooked me up with the pattern, told me where I might be able to find it. I made some phone calls. I was able to find the pattern, which was really thrilling for me. And then she started hers, I started mine, and she's done. Of course she is, and I'm not. I'm still fooling with mine. The next one is a Stony Creek, and it is Winter Wonderland stocking. I started this in February of 2020. Amy and I were stitching this together. Amy loves toads. Hi, Amy. And she's already way finished hers, and she's on to another stocking, and I'm still fooling with this one. So there it is there. This is for my son Hunter. Again, this one I will have done before the end of the year. I will get this done because these stockings have to be done. But the last time I showed this, I did not have any of the antlers in and stuff, and now I have. Get it folded right. Nope, that won't work. Now I have some antlers down here, all of these. And again, I have a plan to get this done. Let's see if I can do it. And I'm going to keep pushing along because I really would like my son to have this by the end of 2022 for Christmas. And that's all called for colors. That is a 28 count mushroom Lugana that I'm stitching it on. I enjoy stitching that immensely. Stony Creek was one of my favorite designers, so I really enjoy that. The next one is called Clumsy Witch. This is a pattern from Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm sure I have a picture. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up a picture real quick of what it looks like. Where is she? There she is. Flip to her cover page here. There we are. So this is what it looks like. And as soon as it came out, And that was, what did I say I started that? 9/14. So as soon as this came out in September of 2020, is that right? No, 2021. I'm sorry. We're into 2021. I ordered it immediately as soon as she had posted it. Super cute. Love the witch. Again, I picked a darker fabric to do this on. And so far I'm really loving it. And what I got is just the witch done. And this fabric is a 28 count Picture This Plus called Mystic. And there's my witch. Sorry for all the wrinkles right in the middle where she is. Here she is. Let me see if I can fold this better. There we go. Nope, that won't work. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I'm just pulling these out of the bag. Sorry, peeps. Normally I have myself prepared to show, but this time it was just like pull it out and do it. There she is. So she's really cool, love her. And look forward to stitching all the rest of the motifs on here. Hopefully I'll pick this up mid-year and try to get it done before Halloween. The next one is Mr. Jingles. Now Mr. Jingles was started October 29, 2021, so just a couple of months ago. And he is looking like this. I love Mr. Jingles. He is a stand-up 3D. He has a base, some wooden legs. This is all stitching. He's holding a bell and he has a knit hat on. And this is like my car stitch because the kit came with 11 count Aida. And I really thought about changing it out to a 25 count or a 28 count, but I didn't want to change his size at all. And I thought 11 count Aida, I can be stitching in the car and have no problem seeing this whatsoever. So that's what I've been doing, but this is as far as I've gotten. So his hands are in the middle there. These are the cuffs to his sweater, and all these little diamonds are a part of his sweater. But that is as far as I got with him. But he's in my car, so every time I go to my car for lunch, I work on him a little bit most times. So maybe I will have him done before Christmas of next year if I just keep him in the car as my car stitch. Okay. My next one is a Blackbird Designs, and it was a gift from a wonderful stitcher who sent it to me so I could stitch it. And she sent me the pattern, the fabric, and all the floss. She sent me the entire kit as a gift, which was just awesome, you know, because it was a pattern that I wanted to do. And she was a blessing to send this to me. So, and I had been working on this. Let's see, where is it on my list? Uh-oh. I don't think I have it on my list. I don't see it. Okay, so that means I'm missing one from my list. But this is their song. I started this in 2021. Can't tell you what month because it's not on my list. And I'm doing it on my own fabric choice. She had sent me the call for linen, but I didn't want to do it on that. So this is a 36 count. Sorry, I got threads all over it. It's a 36 count that I hand dyed myself. And this is where I'm at with it right now. So I got the whole bottom done. All I have left is what's on the top, which is the words and a couple of birds. I worked on this again the other day, put some more words in. As you can see, I've got just this part from here up. I've got these birds, the words, and then I've got this up here that I have to do, and then it'll be complete. So really excited about this. Just a beautiful piece. I am doing it 1/2. Normally I don't like to do 1/2 on 36 count because it's a little sparse. And I will say that the birds, I mean, it looks really great, but the birds, you can really tell. You can see right through them. So I may go and take some black and do a second leg over the top, just so they're more covered and they're not so transparent. But the rest of the stitching looks great. It's just the black that really kind of stands out that it's 1/2. So I probably will do that when I'm finished with it. And then it will be done. next? My next one I started October 1st, I believe. This is Glendon Place, Sleepy Hollow. I'm sure everybody knows what this looks like as well. And get the glare out here. I had to put my overhead light on because it's so dim in here because there's no sun out. But love this piece. Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch just finished hers. It was absolutely beautiful. I've been wanting to start it for a long time, so finally said that's it. I'm just going to start it. It will be in my WIP pile. But I haven't gotten very far. I worked on it for a couple days. And this is where I've gotten. I'm doing it on the Call for Haunted. Picture This Plus Haunted. Get this folded so it's easier. And what I got is the back end of the horse. So that's the back end of the horse and part of the saddle. So that's where I'm at with that. Love this fabric. It's such a beautiful fabric. And I noticed that, you know, their dyeing is different each time. So you never know what the dye batch you're going to get. Because some of them have the greenish tinge, which is this does, and some of them are the grayish tinge. So, but it is a beautiful fabric. I really love it. You can see it's got folded out so you can see. It's just beautiful. And he's going to look great on it. So, don't know how many years it's going to take me to get him done though. I am assuming several. Because even though I love him, it's a lot of stitching. My next one, my pile's about to dump over here. My next one is Little House Needleworks Little House Neighborhood. I've been working on this the last couple days. I started this on May 23rd, 2021. And I really wanted to get this hung up in my house, and I'm changing it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking out the ladies on the top row. I'm going to take them out completely. One side, inside, will have a squirrel, one will have a bunny, and then I'm going to have a dog on one side and a cat on the other where the ladies are. And then down further, there's sheep. And I think I'm going to pull out the sheep and try to see if I can find some cows that will fit in there. And down here, I'm taking out the wording and I'm putting in our last name with the established date either of when we purchased this house or when we were married. I'm not sure which one I'm doing, but those are the changes I want to make on this. And what I did this past couple days is I put a tree in on this side. And this is being stitched on a 28 count, oh, my tag is buried. Nope, 32 count Ivory Lugana. And I love this piece. It is such a cool piece. And that's where I'm at with it. And there's the tree that I just put in. And it is a beautiful piece. But I want to make the changes so it matches my neighborhood. Because I have cats and dogs. We have bunnies in the backyard. We have squirrels in the backyard. And I have cows in the pasture next to me. So that's why I wanted to change all the motifs to match what my house would have. So love this design. I'm going to continue working on it. I love working on these houses because they're big houses, but they stitch up pretty quick. They're not that difficult to stitch. That's why I've got 3 of the houses completed already. So love that. Going to continue working on that one. This one is my, where's the picture? My Angel of Freedom, Lavender Lace. Kim from Florida, she's on Instagram. She and I started this together. She has hers complete. I do not. What else is new? I am horrible at trying to keep up with others when it comes to stitch-alongs, but I am still working on this. So I did add some more stitches to it in the last week or so. I'm trying to move my needle. And this is where I'm at with it. Let's see if I can fold it. And it is on a, oh shoot. It is on a 32 count Opal Lugana that I hand dyed. And it's like a blue. And there she is. Got her face in. I changed her hair to red. She was more of a brunette. And I wanted her to be a redhead. And then I started working on all this down here and then putting all this down here in. So hopefully I get a chance to pull her out again, because I do love her and want to get her stitched, get her framed so she can hang at Christmas time with Santa of the Forest there. Maybe that's why I didn't frame Santa, because I haven't got her done yet. This is, I'm going to skip that for just a minute because that's a really new start. Okay, that's a really new start. Are the rest of them really new starts? I think they are. No, this one I started, this is, let me see, I have a picture of this too. This is, Spring Chalk by Hands-On Design. It was in the 2016 Just Cross Stitch magazines. There it is there, Spring Chalk. And again, I worked on this week some. Tried to pull out some of these things in this past week since Christmas has been over to work on. And I am at the word spring. So really, this is a chalkboard. What is it? It is, uh-oh, didn't put any notes on this one. I think it's 32 count chalkboard Lugana is what I think it is. But that's where I'm at with that. I did all that pink and some of this white on the S this week. So I want to get all 4 of those seasons done. Every time I see Helen D, East Coast Crafter, every season she has a one of these chalk ones up on the wall behind her. And I want to stitch everything Helen stitches. Because every time I see her displays, I'm like, what is that? What is that? What is that? And I want to start looking at the patterns and figuring it out because I think they're cool and I want to be like Helen. And I want to stitch all Helen's things. This next one I started 12/21, so I just started this right before Christmas. This is a Cricut collection called Edge of the Woods. This was a special silver needle in, I think, silver needle stitching circle. This was from 2020, I believe, and I was able to get a hold of it. And I'm doing this on a 28 count Water Lily Lugana with the called for colors. And this is where I'm at with it. I started the bottom, I started this here. I'm doing the bottom part first, all the way around. So there's my first pumpkin. So cute. I love this. I've had it for over a year, and I really wanted to stitch it. I'm really kind of surprised that Cricut hasn't released this pattern yet, because it has been over a year since it's been in their stitching circle. So maybe they'll release it this year in the fall. And then I've got this one here, which was a magazine start. I was doing ornaments out of magazines. This is a Buttercup. I printed up a bunch of Buttercup patterns from Just Cross Stitch magazines from prior years from my CDs. In this one, I don't have a picture of it. I'm going to show you real quick. It is called Christmas Centerpiece, and it's right there. It's a candle. And this is as far as I've gotten with it so far. I've got this on my Bringo board, so hopefully I'll get some more work in that. And talk about my plans for ornament stitching this year, because I do have plans for that as well. And then this one, which I also, again, I can't show you a picture. This was a freebie series. It was Flowers of the Month. And the reason I found it was from Amy Loves Toad. She shows it on her, she's still working on it. So you go back to her videos, you'll see the series. The problem is I went back to see if I could find a link to the series so I could share it with you guys, and the links are gone. So she obviously, her site is still up. If you look up, and I'll post her name. I'm not going to post it here. I don't want to do any editing. I'll post it below, the name of her website. And you can go there, but when you try to click the links to get the printouts, they're not there anymore. So maybe someone else can figure out how to get them. But this is the carnation when I just started it. It looks like, and I'll show a picture on here because it was a freebie. So let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see, we're Floral Series, January. So this is what it looks like. Looks like this here. Oops, hold on. There you go. There you go. So that's what it looks like. That's January's. And this is my little start on it. And I have to say, before I show you this, I got to show you this. So my first thought was I wanted to do it 1/1. I said, I haven't done anything 1/1. I had 28 count fabric. And I said, I'm going to do this 1/1 because I think it would be stinking cute, so small. So I started it. There's my 1/1. The reason I didn't continue at 1/1 is because the color variations in the color changes are so slight that you really can't see in this that there was any color change in that green, and there is. So I ended up restarting it, and that's the size difference. And I restarted it on a 32 count cream Lugana, and I got it the corner done so far. Will I keep up on this? I can't say. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. This fabric's going back in my pile. I don't know what I don't know if you can rip out 1/1. Can you rip out 1/1? I don't know. I may try. I don't know. I may try to save the fabric. But this is a monthly. There's 12 flowers, and if you want to see what it looks like, go catch the latest video. And Amy Loves Toads. I think she showed it on her last video that she's working on it. So give me a minute. I gotta take a drink. I'm starting to get a scratchy throat. Sorry. So another monthly thing that I started that I don't know if I'll be able to keep up on. And then my last start for this year was today, because today's my birthday. You have to have a birthday start. That's a rule, you know. You have to have a birthday start. And I am doing Crosswing Collection. This is Backyard Favorites. I'm doing the Blue Jays. I'm doing it on a 36 count flax linen. I want it to match my cedar wax wings that I did. And I did his head so far, and I want you to see it because there's his head. Doesn't he look great? Look at that. I love him. He is fabulous. You gotta love Paula's designs. These are, and I'm going to show this briefly. I'm going to show just a section of it. These are hand drawn. That's how old this is. Hand drawn. This is from 1986. And just the detail that she had in her designs back then was amazing. And she still does amazing, amazing patterns. I have tons of her patterns, and I really don't stitch enough of them. So I'm going to make a point of having 2, maybe 3 this year of Crosswing Collections patterns started, because I do have 2 others kitted right now besides this one that I started. So I may have to do that. I may have to start the other 2 at some point. So look for those in my upcoming video, because I have to do that, because she has awesome patterns. So that is all of my WIPs for 2021 going into 2022. I didn't count them. My list is wrong, so I probably have 24 right now, which isn't humongous, but that's a lot for me. That's the most I've ever had. Normally I have 13 or 14, so that is a lot, and I'm already talking about starting more. So my plan for next year, for 2022, is to have these large pieces, 5 large pieces completed. Early American Series, Miss Christmas Eve, Christmas Sled Stocking, Winter Wonderland Stocking, and my Christmas Garden. All of those are very large pieces, but it's doable. It is doable. Early Americans, it only takes me 3 or 4 days to stitch each block. So if I concentrate, and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it, on it, I can get that done, because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 more blocks to go. Miss Christmas Eve only needs to get her beading and some outlining. So again, that is very doable. I can get that done. My Christmas sled stocking is more than 50% complete right now. So I can see no reason that I can't get that one completed before Christmas. Winter Wonderland stocking, the same thing. I think I'm about a third of the way, but it is so much easier to work on than it is for the Christmas sled stocking because it's all 2/2. So again, I'm going to concentrate on that. And then Christmas garden, I just have a love affair going with Christmas garden in the last week that I want to pick it up all the time, which is an awesome thing. And I also have a plan for that. I'm joining in with some other stitchers to stitch Christmas garden on the 25th of every month. So, but it also will get touched in Bringo. So that is my plans. I did UFO some projects. So let's talk about my UFO projects that I took out of my WIPs. I'm going to bend down because I have to get them. And they're in this bin in the bottom of the bin. So, but I want to show them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is all of them right here. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so I want to show them and talk about why I stopped, why I took them out of my plans. The first one is Mirabilia's, what is this thing called? I can't remember. The name is missing out of the front of it. Mermaids of the Deep Blue. And I won't be able to get it back in there. There we go. So that's this one here. And I had this started since 2017. And I want to show you how far I got with it. And then you'll understand. There's my start. That was it. I started it and then realized the next color that I needed to do was with Kryneck, and I didn't have the Kryneck. So I put this away, and it sat, and it sat, and it sat, and it sat. And I'm like, I'm never gonna, and I keep looking at it every year saying, I really need to pull that out and get that going. Well, this year I decided, let's pull it out and be done. So that's what I decided to do. I absolutely love these women. I just love the mermaids, but I just don't want to do it. My tastes are changing, the way I'm stitching is changing, and with this little bit of stitching, I don't feel bad about UFOing it. My second one was Winter Chalkboard. So I started this in February of 2020, and this is the one that was out of the calendar. And the sad thing is, I started this twice. The first time I started it, it was on this gray fabric that I hand dyed. There it is. And I don't like it. I just didn't like the way that it looked. My stitches look fine, but I didn't like the way that it looked on this fabric. So I said, I'd rather do it on black. So I started it again. This time on a 28 count black Lugana. There it is. I got that far and I lost interest in even stitching it. And it's been sitting for the last almost 2 years. And I just, does not call to me at all. So I decided that's it. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to UFO it, and that'll be that. The next one is this Winter Sampler by Waxing Moon. Really love this design. Snowmen. I love snowmen. Let me see if I can get the glare off. There we go. And I really want to do this. And the problem with this one was my fabric choice. I hand dyed my own fabric for it, and I'm just not loving it. I'm not loving it on this fabric. So this is where I got with it. This is a Lugana 28, and this is where I'm at. And I'm just not loving it. It's got like a pinky tone to it, and I just, for whatever reason, I'm not loving it on that. So at some point, I may try to rip this out right here and try to make this into an ornament. And I'm, I don't think I'm going to do anything with the snowman, but I think I might try to save the bird. I might try to take some of this out and see if I can save the bird and make that into an ornament, because I love the bird in the tree. It's beautiful. Will I start this again? I don't know. But the fabric, I just don't love that fabric. And the last one was the 2020 Linens and Threads Mystery Stitch Along. This is where I got with it. Again, not, and you know the problem with this, it's a green mint fabric that I dyed. It's Silks for You, green silk. I love it. The problem is I can't work with silks. I can't. My hands are too rough. I know. Put some lotion on them. Put some lotion on them. I know. I try that. I just, because I work with my hands all day in retail, my hands are always rough no matter what I try to do. And it snags the silk as I'm stitching, and it's frustrating. So I stopped doing it. So this is as far as I got. I think what I'm going to do with this, and I saw someone else mention the same thing, and I can't remember who now, but I love the idea, is just cut this down. So I'm going to move it over, get whatever motifs are here, stitch them in all the way down to the bottom, and be done. And just as a band. And I'll add some motifs in wherever I need to add them in to make it look full. And I'll just leave it like that, and I'll frame it. And I'll be good with that. I'll be okay if that's not 100% complete. Maybe someday I will restart it with just floss and do it that way. But I just have a hard time working with the silks, and I got very frustrated, so I UFO'd it. So those are my UFOs. Okay, so let's talk about plans. I went and I watched Carolyn Zook, See Zook Stitch. Who doesn't watch Carolyn? If you're not watching Carolyn, go watch her. I'll link her below. Anybody I've talked about today or mentioned, if they have a Flosstube, I will link it below. And I got the planner that she gets because I thought it was really a good planner. I thought it would work for me, and I like that it had 2 years in it. Hopefully it'll last for 2 years, but we will see. So in it, I have my January 2022 Bringo board. So she does a bingo type stitching game that is much like bingo. This one is called Bringo, so Brr Cold Ingo. And the idea is just like any other bingo board. If you do WIPCO or any of those other ones, same thing. She does it in January. She does another one in September called AB Singo for like back to school AB Singo. And so I have several of my WIPs on here. You stitch the called for number. She calls a number a day, and you stitch on that project for a minimum of 100 stitches, 1 hour. So I have several of my pieces on here. So I'll be doing Bringo for January, so I don't think I'll get much of anything else worked on except for Bringo. We'll see. And then for January, going forward, this is my plan. My plan is on the 11th of every month to work on Lady of the Flag. That's when I started. I started on 9/11 in 2017. Did I start in 17 or 18? I think it was 17. No, 18. 9/11/2018 is when I started her. So every 11th day of the month, I'm going to work on Lady of the Flag. On every 25th of the month, I'm going to work on my Blackbird Designs Christmas Garden because I want to get that done. So every 25th of the month, that will be the plan, except for January. January, I will try to do it, but there's no guarantee I'm going to get it done because of Bringo. But that's my plan for every month. Every 11th of the month, Lady of the Flag. Every 25th of the month, I'm going to do Christmas Garden. I'm doing that with several ladies on the Blackbird Designs Facebook group. So several people have joined in to do 25th of the month. I'm doing Stocking Sunday again this year. I probably won't touch the stockings in January. If I do, it's going to be minimal stitching on the Sundays. But every Sunday I will pick up one of the stockings, whether it's one or the other, and I'll alternate that month which one I'm working on. And then the last 2 days of every month, I will work on the Early Americans. So that will give me 2 days in a row to work on that. So I think that names all 5 of my top ones. Miss Christmas Eve, I don't have listed on here, but she's beading. And I will work her in as I go. But she is on my Bringo board a couple of times. So I'm going to have to pick her up at least 2 times to work on beading and the back stitching. Other than that, I'm going to have new starts for January because they're part of my Bringo. So let's talk about the new starts that are part of my Bringo. I have in zipper time here, sorry. Little House Needleworks Spring Band Sampler. Because I want to work on things for my spring. Changing out my snowmen to the spring. And I'm going to do this on Ada. I don't stitch on Ada anymore, but I really wanted to work on some Ada. So I have a piece of hand-dyed by me Ada. And that's what I'm going to stitch it on. It's with the called for colors, and that is on my Bringo board at least 2 times. So that'll be a start when it gets called. And then we're supposed to have one, well, those of us that don't have no new starts are to have one new start that is a magazine new start. So mine is going to be Antique Pillow Roses. Antique Roses, sorry, not Pillow Roses. Antique Roses, they got it on a pillow. I'm not doing it on a pillow. But that's it right there. Glare, hold on. Glare, glare, glare. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? The designer is Thea Governor, which tells you this is going to be an absolutely gorgeous piece. This is from a March-April 2006 of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And I'm going to be doing that on a piece of ivory, 32 count ivory Lugana. And the called for colors, it's all DMC, but it is a lot of colors. So I just want to pull this out. And this isn't all of it because I still have a few more I've got to kit up. But look at all these colors. These are all the colors. So that's all the branches and stuff. And this is the flowers. Look at all that color. All those colors. Just gorgeous. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm excited to start this piece. I've been eyeballing this for well over a year now, wanting to do it. So really thrilled to finally get it started when it gets called. So sometime during the month it'll get called and I'll start that. And then I have one other start for the new year. I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, but I will start it. And it will be Rose Quaker. So this one here. And I couldn't say the name of that company if I wanted to. Stickendien van der Wickenburg. Wickenburg. Beautiful piece. It is being stitched on, I think it's 36 count Silvery Moon. I'm almost sure that's what it is. There it is there. It's either 32 or 36. I can't remember. I think it's 32. I take that back. It's probably 32. And these are all the colors. It's just beautiful muted roses, rose colors, and some browns. So just beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to doing that and hoping that I will be able to do at least, hoping, I say hoping, not sure how this is going to pan out with all my other plans, 1 motif a week. So we'll see. We'll see. So that's my plan. So that's my, this is my, oh, and my other one is, see, I almost forgot. That's why I have a planner. I am going to do 12 and 12 ornaments. So 12 ornaments, 12 months. And I would like to get at least 3 of the Cricket Collection's 12 Days of Christmas. I have 3 done. I'd like to get 3 more of those done. 1 sunflower seed. I did one out of Just Cross Stitch. She has 4 patterns that are religious in nature. So the one I did already was the A Star, and it's real glittery. It's got a lot of Krynic in it, and they're really beautiful. There's 4 of them. I'd like to get 1 more done this year. I'd like to get 2 more of the Brooks Books Advent Animals done, and then 3 Prairie Schooler Santas. So that's my plan for the entire year. So the first ornament I'm going to start is, and I don't know where I buried it, right here. This one's an easy one because it's Bringo month. Sorry, my voice is starting to go. This is out of Just Cross Stitch, and I don't know which one it's out of, and I'm going to show the pattern because I don't have a picture of it, but you're not going to get much out of this. It just says piece all the way down, 4 different colors. So that's the one I'm going to do. It's going to be on a piece of gray, when the letters are all going to be in blues, dark to light. And that's my plan to start in January. So I think that's it. So this is what my planner looks like. I've got a Christmas tree here for the 25th for Christmas garden, Lady of the Flag. I've got my stockings written in. My early Americans are down here. And my plans of what I'm starting and what I'm going to do are here. So I think this planner is going to work out really great. I've already started writing in across the top on the days before the first of what I worked on. And I think it's going to work out just great. So we'll see. I think that's all I have. I hope you guys have a happy new year. Be safe. And I will see you in 2022. Bye.